Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Coming up here in a few days time, we are going to see our next major update for Battlefield 6. This is going to be the final major update for season 2, presumably, with the final phase 3, Hunter and Prey. Now, as of right now, pending any delays or any unexpected road bumps, this is going to be launching on April 14th. And even though it's not going to be as significant of a content update as the previous 2 phases, this will be a full-on major title update. It will include some new content and then also plenty of new gameplay updates, adjustments, fixes, things of that nature with full-on patch notes that we'll be covering once they end up dropping here in a few days time. So if you want to stay informed with all the full update details once it's out, once we have all the update notes and everything to expect there, be sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on those post notifications to stay in the know with absolutely everything going on in the world of Battlefield. And if you guys enjoy this video as we preview the phase 3 update, do me a favor, drop a like. It's always seriously appreciated. But as for the content side of things with Hunter and Prey, like I said, this update admittedly is not as big as phase 2 or phase 1 was when it comes purely to content. When it comes to gameplay updates and other changes, that's obviously to be seen here in the next few days. But here's how they describe this update. Be the hunter, not the hunted. The final phase of season 2, Hunter and Prey, features the limited time Operation Augur in Battlefield 6, as well as a new vehicle, a new melee weapon, and other content to be released. So let's preview the content expected with phase 3, then we'll get into some of the gameplay updates and changes that seemingly have already been previewed on social media by some of the devs. First up, they've got the Operation Augur update, our first operation here officially in Battlefield 6. They're calling it a limited time mode, and I know that's going to alarm some people outright. What do you mean? We finally get operations and they're going to be here for a limited time. Like, how long is it going to be live? How quickly are they taking it away? For what it's worth, the devs have previously said when they call things limited time modes, they don't always fully mean they're going to be limited time, which in that case, I don't know why you'd even refer to it as a limited time mode. I feel like you're putting some fear into the marketing there. But nonetheless, they did explain that when they do limited time things in game, limited time features or, limited experiences, that if those go over very well with the player base and there is seemingly a positive sentiment globally about these updates, that they're not going to be limited time. They'll just extend them, and prolong them into the future for as long as they have attention and as long as they're getting that positive sentiment, basically. So with Operation Augur, this ties together the full narrative of season 2. It puts you in the boots of Pax Armada or NATO to determine the fate of Hagenthal base. So this is going to be an operation that combines our 2 season 2 maps. It's going to be Contaminated and Hagenthal base in one that you steadily progress through the entire game in that classic operation fashion. I will say, as far as like season 2 as a whole goes, having 2 maps for the entire season and then having them combined for the operation, I feel like is pretty limited as far as what the full-on fresh experiences can be for a season. I think that might be a little underwhelming for some players, but at the same time, happy to finally see operations debut here, and hopefully this is something we continue to see more and more of officially, outside of people recreating things in Portal and whatnot. But Operation Augur officially dropping on the 12th, and it'll be live for the foreseeable future. I imagine they want to keep it around for a decent bit of time, probably bleeding into season 3, just to get the full-on feedback on the mode and on this combination of maps to see if it's something they'll support and have available long-term, for future seasons outright. We also have a new vehicle dropping with Hunter and Prey. This is going to be the LTV. The Traverser Mark II had its head start when it comes time for Hunter and Prey. The LTV, the light tactical vehicle, will challenge the light vehicle category as a more nimble option that still offers some solid protection. So we're going to have a new vehicle available, hopefully across a variety of maps, and it's not just something that's available on like a limited subset of maps like they do seemingly do in quite a few situations. We also have a new melee weapon coming with the machete. This is pretty straightforward. Admittedly, for new weapons, melees, I think personally, are pretty underwhelming. No new ranged weapon or anything like that with this phase of the season. We'll just have, obviously, the ability to continue leveling all the ones we've unlocked this season. And I'm sure a lot of you guys are still working up on trying to max out just like me, but we do have a new machete melee weapon dropping as well. Another key update for Season 2 Phase 3 is going to be some brand new portal updates. They say the final major Season 2 portal update is going to introduce 2 new verified modes, one for RedSec and one for Battle Royale. Free for all players, Battle Royale Duos will be available as a verified mode with Hunter and Prey. In addition to Battle Royale Duos, Battlefield 6 owners can create their own verified escalation experiences as a part of this update as well. And we're going to have a new bonus path fully available here. They say similar to previous bonus paths, specifically Winter Offensive, expect the Hunter and Prey bonus path to reward customization rewards and also have the ability to unlock the new melee weapon, the machete, through that as well. Battle Pass owners will have access to additional items in the bonus path for maximum value. So a decent content update for Phase 3. Like I said, certainly not as extravagant or as prominent as the previous 2 phases, but some new content dropping nonetheless. But that's not all that's coming with Phase 3. We are going to end up seeing plenty of new patch notes and new gameplay changes. We haven't had the full specifics revealed for those yet, but Florian over on Twitter, the principal game designer for Battlefield at DICE, has ended up posting several things over the course of the past few weeks, teasing some potential updates for Phase 3 here. So no guarantee that these are absolutely all going to be addressed right here in this update, but we do get some decent context and some decent insight into some updates upcoming. So initially here, he ends up quoting a video showcasing how recoil is interacting with how you look around in game right now. There's obviously been a lot of recoil passes over the course of the past few updates to sort of perfect the behavior as you are looking around and as you're constantly moving. And Florian says, it's a great video showing the way that recoil and input now interface in Battlefield 6 in the same way it did in previous Battlefield games. And he also goes on to say, to not be dismissive of feedback for some, what I'm seeing is that some players expect recoil compensation should not consume the aim input, which is not how things have worked previously in Battlefield games and is currently not how it's going to function in Battlefield 6. If they did that, all weapons would feel like they have less recoil, making them very beamy, and most likely would also mean they'd have to retune all the weapons completely. That being said, it is something they could test in labs at some point if there was enough support behind wanting a feature like that in game. So recoil as it stands right now and the way that it behaves with how you're looking around and how you're using your aim input is presumably going to be staying the same for some time, so we can really build out that muscle memory and learn to master that. But it's also something that if there's still enough feedback, they will look into more in the future. Now, beyond the interaction of recoil and aim input, Florian did also respond to some other concerns about general recoil plots here in Battlefield 6, saying that recoil is still being looked at and will most likely be increased after they've done enough testing across the board. After the fixes to recoil compensation that came with Season 2, it's definitely made a lot easier to extend the range of many automatic weapons. So very possible that here in the near future with Phase 3, then also maybe into Season 3 and beyond, we're going to continue to see quite a few recoil tuning passes go out to address how laser beam like some weapons are currently feeling across Battlefield 6 in general. Florian also gets asked about any update of potentially getting 60 Hz servers for non-verified Portal experiences. Obviously, on the roadmap there, we did get the tease of even more Portal updates and support coming with Phase 3. Florian does confirm they're actively discussing this, but they can't share any more at this time. Usually when something is in an active discussion, it's because they're pushing for it to happen and they're just trying to work around how they can get it out. What's the, quickest way to get from point A to point B of getting it fully released. So again, certainly something that's possible here with the upcoming major Portal updates as they've described them. And what do you know, post-edit Zach here. In between me originally recording this video and now when you guys are seeing it, the Battlefield devs did drop a brand new blog detailing what else to expect with Hunter and Prey and beyond here. So quite a bit to go through and break down here. They say again, Hunter Prey goes live on April 14th. It's the final phase of Season 2. This update introduces more progression improvements, refines squad communication systems, and makes targeted adjustments to Battle Royale pacing and resource flow. It also restores VL7 smoke to Gauntlet as a permanent mission modifier. So with progression updates, this has been one of the most consistent areas of feedback since launch. Since the start of Season 2, we've further streamlined changes, accelerated Battle Pass progression through XP, and added more XP boosts. We've also introduced a new XP curve that speeds up overall progression. We've also made improvements across challenges, tracking, and end-of-round progression to make the experience more reliable. With Hunter and Prey, we're continuing that work with additional updates across weapons, vehicles, ranks, and RedSec progression. So vehicles and weapon progression, you'll earn earn mastery XP by using weapons or vehicles along with eliminations. Career progression XP earn rates across multiplayer modes will be adjusted slightly to keep progression more consistent between playlists. Red Sec modes will reward time spent in matches more heavily. Career XP earned in Red Sec will also better align with multiplayer progression pacing. In Battle Royale, kills and damage assists will provide 50% higher scores, resulting in more weapon XP per match as well. That's pretty huge there. Ping system improvements are also getting added here. Long-range spotting for vehicles and drones should work more consistently. Enemy soldiers will be prioritized more reliably over nearby interactable objects. We're also resolving issues with pings disappearing when pinging from certain vehicles. With Battle Royale, we're improving how certain items respond when pinged and addressing cases where pings would persist incorrectly after equipment changes. That means pings on loot should register more consistently and update properly when things are picked up. These updates are focused on restoring confidence in squad communication and ensuring that when you ping something, it behaves the way you expect it to there. With Red Sec changes in Battle Royale, we're improving early and mid-game flow based on feedback here. Ammo drops will contain increased ammo quantities and include armor plates. We also have the MRAPVs and safes providing additional armor plates instead of grenades. We're introducing a new armor drop strike package. When deployed, it offers 12 armor plate pickups, each granting 2 plates for a total of 24. Chest opening animations are being sped up slightly so you can actually get through that a little bit quicker. We're bringing the Traverser Mark II, known as the Armored Transport, back to Battle Royale in the next update with its weapons removed. We saw the impact its armor and turret could have on match flow, so they're actually nerfing that a little bit. Additionally, for Battle Royale, only the Sledgehammer's damage against destructible walls and objects is now increased. In Gauntlet, the VL7 smoke will return as a permanent mission modifier there. During Nightfall, we also released a limited time mode called Gauntlet Nightfall. This mode features 6 teams fighting through 3 rounds there. The variant emphasizes visibility management coordination. We know about that, of course. During Season 1, talking about stats here, a bunch of different people playing Gauntlet as a whole. Battle Royale solos testing. Over the weekend of March 6th through the 9th, we ran another BR solos test with the labs. Our goal was simple: to get players' hands on the mode. Solos has been one of the most requested ways to play Battle Royale, and this test made it clear that many of you still see it as your preferred way to jump into a match, especially when friends are not online. We also saw strong feedback that this mode helped players learn at their own pace without the ups and downs of being teamed with randoms. During the test, we collected a bunch of different valuable data. The most commonly discussed points raised by players were recon pressure, vehicle impact, and pacing. Recon tools, particularly drones, were frequently mentioned as highly valuable due to their strong situational awareness. We observed a large number of players choosing the recon class during the test, making it the clear meta choice. We'll be reviewing the other classes and balancing based on that. Vehicles also generated mixed feedback from the weekend, especially combat vehicles. Some players enjoyed the added chaos, while others felt they were a little bit too overpowered. They're going to evaluate the role of combat vehicles in solos specifically, including how they influence fairness, counterplay, and overall match flow. We saw how solos naturally changed how players approach engagements and movement throughout a match without the additional support from squad mates. Decision making became more independent and pacing evolved differently across the game. We're reviewing how systems such as player count, which is definitely like the biggest option there, early match flow, and circle behavior shape that experience and how they can adjust that. Beyond those topics, we're also exploring a broader system interaction within solos. This includes reviewing how mission rewards and progression incentives influence player behavior and resource availability impacts decision making. So more labs tests will presumably be coming up. It's an important tool for us to experiment with ideas like these and gather information before making larger changes. In Portal, they're also doing a brand new update here. Obviously, we just talked about how there's going to be a lot of Portal support updates with Hunter and Prey. Portal Gadget is a versatile, equipable tool built for creators designing custom Portal experiences. It gives you the power to trigger tailored gameplay logic at precise moments and locations, putting more control in your hands. So basically just going to offer you more creation tools here, which is very cool. Designed specifically for Portal, the gadget can be added to the player's inventory via script, giving creators full control over when and how it's introduced. Players equip it just like any other standard gadget, but instead of performing a traditional in-game action, it becomes a powerful trigger for custom events. So pretty cool update there. Just going to make more options available within Portal there. Then they do some community highlights, nothing too crazy there. Keep the feedback coming, of course. Thanks for sharing all your feedback. We're continuing to look ahead at what's beyond this season, including the arrival of Gold Mode Railway. We've also been testing vehicle control updates and broader vehicle improvements in labs, and early signs suggest they're steering in the right direction. Pun intended, I think. Maybe we're looking forward to sharing more on both of those in a future update, probably post hunter and prey, but quite a few new details, additional updates there in general for the hunter and prey update. That being said, that's going to wrap things up for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, be sure to drop a like, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button on your way out so you can always guarantee you are in the know for everything going on in Battlefield. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.